Hello everyone, it's me Natsu here, and today we're going to be taking a look at this little tweet I made. So, I've seen a lot of LR Janemba hates and things like that. Actually, I should have brought up LR Janemba while we were talking about it, which I will go ahead and do so right here. But I've seen a lot of people not being very... I feel like people don't like Janemba. Is the best thing I could say. Some people don't like LR Janemba and how he works. Some people think he's underwhelming and things like that. So I wanted to make the tweet to kind of see what people are thinking. You know, why you dislike or like him. And I may make a tweet video. I personally feel like, whilst I do see some faults in the LR Janemba design, I don't think he's as bad as people are saying or thinking he is. Like, not in the slightest at all. I feel like people are kind of overblowing the LR Janemba hates, kind of. But let's see what people are thinking. And there's a decent amount of comments here, so I decided to go ahead and do it this next morning. So let's check out the quote tweets. They hate him because they never use them. Luka Dokkan. I mean, that's fair. Honestly, I see a lot of the people who are saying LR Janemba sucks are actually global players, which is funny. But yeah, I mean, I don't think he's well designed personally. He could have been a lot better if everything he did was dedicated to being slot 1. I don't understand the slot 2 build up when he's clearly an SBR type character. So that's his main gripe. If you build him in slot 1 and guard in all 3 slots, he'd be much better. He didn't need to have build up in slot 2 when he has no additionals. He's not even built for damage anyways. I mean, I can see your point. Like, you usually want to put this guy in slot 1 because he guards a lot of the time, and you'll be able to get use out of this, especially for units for if you get super attacked before you get attacked, things like that. The guard and the nullification will be very important. But you can only build up this part in slot 2. I actually kind of like it though, because like I find he doesn't necessarily need the guard. At least when I'm using him, when I use him like in movie bosses or for example something like that, I find he doesn't really need the guard necessarily. Well, no, what am I saying? I feel like because of the guard, he doesn't need the build up. That's what I'm trying to say. Because like this is gonna be very, very powerful for him. But you have to keep in mind he gets big bad bosses, shocking speed, metamorphosis. I don't think Beautiful Done has any. And yeah, so this is what, 10, 15, like 50% defense from links. And these 3 links are very, very common to get activated. So he has 50% defense from links. That's a lot of defense. And his defensive stat is 14.7k. 14.7k is a very high defensive stat. And if we take a look here into the cards in the game and we sort by defense, LR Janemba is right here. Very second row right there. And, you know, he has guard. Like, I don't think there's... also, by the way, I don't think there's another LR who has guard. You have to keep in mind his defensive stat is pretty absurd. And he's the only unit up here with big bad bosses besides Bojack. Which, he's definitely more defensively oriented than Bojack because of the guard. So, I mean... you have to consider that as well. Even though he's a unit that wants to build up, he doesn't necessarily need that build up to be very good in Super Brotherhood content. So I feel like he's still fine here. And if you're in a log event, you can go ahead and build this up. And even then, since he's physical, I honestly would say, since he's more defensively orientated, even though his super attack effects suck, it may be worth going into a little more additional. And then if you put him in the second slot right here, and he gets 2 attacks in the first turn, that's most of his passive. My issue with him is that his key is a little weak at the starter turn. But I would definitely agree with that, because especially if we put him in the first slot right there, he doesn't get any key from his passive except here, so that does hurt him a little. But I don't think this is as bad as people may think it is, but I understand where you're coming from with that. Now let's check the actual comments right here. He's one of those units that need big bad bosses at level 10. His build up only works in slot 2 and 3 and remaining on 1. Fair. His super attack effect and absolute conditions suck. Don't even get me started on the number of teams. Hitting 18 keeper isn't very easy. I agree with all of those. He's definitely a super battery unit that wants to build up, and people think it's kind of weird. I think of it as that he can do both. He can build up, and he can be very good in short content, especially because of his high chance of nullification. I agree, his super attack effects could be better. I feel like his rage mode could be better too, but I don't really... Honestly, even if you can get the rage mode early on, it's like kind of... Like, it's not the greatest thing ever anyways. It's solid. My biggest gripe with him, though, is definitely the teams. I feel like if you slap 4 teams on this guy, though, he's like... I would say if you slap more teams on this guy, he probably is better than Nestor, Vegito, and Gogeta, and Tech Gogeta. Personally speaking, because his link set is insane. The guard, the stacking attack and defense, well, not stacking, but the building up of attack and defense. This is multiplicative, so this is huge. This is probably the best thing about him, honestly, the nullification. Even better than the guard, because this is just very powerful effect. And because of that, he's the only unit that can withstand Blue Evolution Vegeta's super attack. Anything you're getting is a very easy aggro. At the very least, his teams have a lot of support type units. I dislike that he's not in my box. Okay, that's fair. LR Janemba is a boss. Dude can tank basically anything turn 1, and his ability to nullify is so good. His numbers are very impressive once he's stacked for a while, and he's a great asset to all his teams. Fair. And if for 3 negatives about Janemba, key struggle turn 1, weak damage turn 1, defense lowered. No, actually they fixed this. He no longer gets defense lowered from nullified super attacks. That was a bug that they did end up fixing. So it's only these 2 things. You like his defense capabilities and overall link set. Wish he had more teams. Custom dodge animation along with his nullification. Well, I mean, he does have a custom animation though. I'm not sure where you're coming from for that. Like, do you mean like you want this as like a you're like if he does get the 3 dodge, something like that? I guess you want this. I mean, that would be cool, but I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't really personally care. It would look cool, but I think his nullification is enough. But that's fair. He guards in a conversation. So true. You do funny guard. Wish he guard in slot 3 and build up in slot 2 and 1 instead of. Yeah, that's fair. Again, if he did build up in slot 1 and 2, he'd be a very nasty boy for sure. His main role is tanking, and in long events, he's a king. SPR and the like, he's decent. I would disagree. I think for SPR, he's still very, very powerful. But yeah, he's both different. Best defensive unit in the game. Best defensive unit in the game again. That's no question. I think the problem lies in the fact that he doesn't do much damage generally. That's more appealing. I feel like also stunts are being released with Gogeta. A lot of people hate the unit because of how he's built. Many people are just angry they aren't better. He's also an LR. People won't get him to try to summon for him. Key issues. He's best unit on all his teams. Not like he's meant to be super attacking in the first place. Well, I mean, he is an LR, so I would say this to be fair. With him being up key, he definitely wants to get his 8th in key so he could do more damage. And once he builds up, he could be doing like 6+ million attack stats very easily. I wouldn't say, like, the thing is that his main purpose is the defense for sure, but he can do attack once you're able to build him up properly. But I feel like because, like, he's an LR, so people would want him to do more damage. It's definitely very fair. I would say, again, even his damage is pretty low still, start of turn, which is very not good for him. Even for an LR, you probably would want his damage to be higher turn 1. But yeah, I mean, I definitely see where you're coming from with that as well. If you need him slot 1 Super Battle Road, his defense, key, and attack might not be as much as you need, and it stays the same for turn 3. Well, I would say his defense, attack, and defense, offense, attack, and defense. I can't even speak. What am I saying? Key, attack, and defense. His key definitely not that great. His attack and defense, I feel like, again, is better than people are thinking, especially his defense. Although his attack is not the greatest, his defense, dude, almost 15k. Oh, that's disgusting with big bad bosses. Lots of damage potential outright and little utility. A little utility. With guard and notification. I wouldn't say little utility at all. I think that's very good utility. And I would say his leader skill is also pretty solid. Corona Body of Mine is not the greatest, but Movie Boss has been getting a lot of buffs. It's 4 key and 150%. You can run this guy. I think something that I don't see people really saying is that you can run this guy as a leader for the God event, and he can no item with his team all 12 stages of the God event, which is a feat for sure because of his guard. That's something that really only guard units could do most of the time, or like very great chances to dodge units could do. So yeah, I mean, that's something to get to see. It's a lot of people are saying he's better than the UI Vegito. With not baiting interaction, I just can't agree with it. Fair. Best defensive unit in the game. He guards, could have been more. Excellent defensive unit. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of the same things at this point. All of his teams are dead. Well, I mean, like you barely see it in Broly's, but I would say Broly is not great as a movie boss's leader. I would prefer this guy's movie boss's leader much more. The only issue is that you probably won't find him on the friends list a lot. I want to say his teams are dead. Like Exploding Rays got a Super Battle Road recently. Transformation Boost and movie bosses got extreme Super Battle Road stages recently. Corroded Body and Mind has DT Legendary Goku event mission. So these are all teams that could really use Janemba. Like, and difficult content. These are all stages that really need Janemba. So like a difference between him and Videl, for example. Although they do have the same 4 teams. If you look at Videl, I see this comparison brought up a lot. And it's fair, you know. Oh, you don't like Videl because 4 teams, but Janemba, he 4 teams and he's better? What? The reason why is because Videl's teams don't need her. You know, Peppy Gals don't need her. Honestly, Majin Buu Saga doesn't need her. Well, Earthlings I'd say need her, and Defenders of Justice is like, probably doesn't even really need her either. She's the leader of the team though, so that's the only reason why, but like these 2 teams don't need her. With Earthlings like Super Battle and stuff, you don't even need her. Defenders of Justice, she's a leader, so you want to run her. But like, you know, even Peppy Gals has, you know, let's say for example, Brienne is probably a good enough leader for Super Battle and stuff. Like, look at all these Peppy Gals leaders. Like Videl, although is technically the best one, you don't need her. I feel like, although she's very good, she's not needed. Well, Janemba is needed for all these teams and all these category missions, and you know, the God event, he can be much more useful. I feel like than Videl. That's something to really consider. That I feel like people don't really think about when they say that, when they make that argument. He's your favorite character? He's first got him in JP accounts. Okay, damage, great defense, low categories, key issues. Yellow coin banner, no way spending stones on that. More categories would be nice. Yeah, okay. I pretty much see the same thing. I'm just scrolling through it. Yeah. I think he's great. I agree with that. But I could definitely see the things. I feel like a lot of people are saying basically the same thing here. And some team builds for this guy right here. Defense, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty much all the same. So yeah, people are gonna stop hating on him when the God himself comes out, buffs the hell out of him. Okay, the shit out of him. You know, fair. I think that's a good place to end it. I didn't get your comment, I'm sorry, but you know, there's a lot. I'm not gonna read out the same thing like 15 billion times. I'm sure everyone has. I see a lot of the same general consensus. I see a lot of people calling him bad, though. I haven't seen like too many comments of them calling him bad. I'd say defensively bad, offensively. You have to keep in mind is that when Janemba builds up, he does have very, very good offense. It's like he's built to be good in both events, which I like a lot. But let me know what you guys think. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.